Okay, so we have one more quick little tool, little new feature that I wanted to show in Illustrator CS5. So once again, we will need CS5 to be able to use this, but I thought another great addition to the software that you might want to check out, and again, could possibly be a reason for you to upgrade, or maybe help you decide that upgrading isn't the right change for you at this point. But we're going to be looking at something called the Shape Builder tool, and that is a new addition to Illustrator. Helps you build objects out of smaller pieces, other objects, that you can unify them. It works a bit like the Pathfinder tool, or the Pathfinder panel rather, but we'll see some different ways that you can use that. Before we get started though, this podcast is being brought to you by GoToMeeting. And with GoToMeeting, you can do more and travel less. And you do this by hosting meetings online. Now, pretty much what happens in a meeting, you project your screen up on the wall and you show people something that's on your computer. And you can do this from the comfort of your own office and not make people have to come travel to meet you. So you start your meeting real quick, they get online, they can see your browser, or through their browser, they can see your desktop, everything you're doing, so that you can have a nice collaborative meeting. You talk to them over the phone or over voice over IP or both, and you're having that live interaction that you want, yet you don't have to be in the same room. And you also save a bunch of money because can you can pay one flat rate and meet as many times as you need to. So if you want to try this for free, go to this URL at the top here. It's gotomeeting.com/techpodcasts. That's gotomeeting.com/techpodcasts. You'll see this page. Just fill out the form at the bottom, and you can download and try the software for free for 30 days. So give that a try. All right, we'll throw out the disclaimer one more time. We're in Illustrator CS5, so if you do not have CS5 version, you will not be able to use what we're using today. It is a new addition, and once again, I want to kind of show you the new things that are coming to this software that have been installed in this software to kind of help you decide whether you need to upgrade or not. Some of these things are going to be great time savers. Maybe not shock the world type of features, but will help you in your everyday workflow. And if it saves you time, then it's saving you money. So what we're looking at today, I have just some basic shapes laid out here. And when we're talking about the Shape Builder tool, I said it's very much like the Pathfinder panel. And if we open that up, you should be familiar with this. There's different ways to add objects together. You can take things off of the front as a way to kind of subtract a certain shape from another shape. You can dissect or intersect, so where things lie over each other, you can kind of get rid of little bits and pieces of that. So hopefully you're familiar with that, and if you are, then this tool is going to be very familiar to you. But it works in kind of a different way because we almost kind of select or paint with the tool. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and select with the regular selection tool, and I just selected everything here. Now I'm going to grab this tool, which is right kind of in the middle here. It's the Shape Builder tool, and that's in Shift M if you're using the key command. You notice when I hover over, it actually shows me all the different pieces. Actually, it shows me the different pieces before I do that. Anywhere where a shape intersects another shape, it's going to show me basically the broken down version of that. So what I had is one rectangular, squarish kind of thing here, which would be these two pieces, a triangle, and then these other little rectangles that I have on the top. So really between these two there was only two pieces, but now these two intersect, so it's showing me this other piece here as well. Now the easy thing here to do is, let's say I want to make these three now shapes, which was originally two shapes, into one. So I'm just going to click and drag, and as I drag over these and then I let go, it makes that one shape. So very easy to do. We could do this in the Pathfinder before. Again, we could have just selected them all and said unite, but this is a more kind of a quicker, a little more intuitive way to kind of just select over it and turn everything into one shape. So very easy to do that way. Again, if I go back with this tool, you notice that it does highlight these shapes when I roll over them, and you notice there's a little plus sign by the arrow on the icon there. If I hit the Option or Alt key and hold that down, you notice that it switches to a minus, and this means I can actually subtract things. So if I go ahead and click on my little window and door, now I have one unified object, and it actually has pieces cut out of it, as we can see when we roll over or drag it over that other object over there. So if you're making an icon, something like that, very quick and easy to add and subtract pieces to this to make it one unified object instead of having a bunch of them drawn out. And really the point of this is it's a lot easier to draw things with simple shapes. Anyone who draws knows that's kind of the methodology there. You draw a bunch of simple shapes to make your one complex object. That's what we did here. I have a bunch of rectangles just kind of laying over a circle. Much easier to draw a big unified object like this, and I'll just go ahead and do it real quick. So I'm going to select all of them again with the selection tool, and then I will go up to the shape builder tool. And if I want to unify all of these objects, I can actually hold down the shift key and just drag over the whole thing. And that unifies them all into one shape. Again, a lot easier to do it this way than to try and just grab the pen tool and actually draw this shape. That would be kind of mind-numbing to do that, and a lot harder than what I just did. Let's go ahead and back out of that and show you again. Once I have everything selected and I pick that shape builder tool, when I drag over, I can start to see that it's showing me all the different little intersected areas between all of these objects, where all these different rectangles cross each other and cross the circle as well. Now, one thing I can do here is if I go ahead and just click this, and you might not see, actually I had a different color chosen. Let me just back up a second here, and we'll grab that, because it can become confusing when I first started using this tool. If I go ahead and roll over this, and I have the color set to what this piece actually is, and I click it, it doesn't look like anything happened. But if I go ahead and unselect everything, I can see that something definitely did happen, and that is it actually cut out that piece, that intersected piece, and now I have a couple of pieces that I can drag out of there. What we just saw, what I accidentally did, was if I have a different color selected in here, and let's just grab a random color, I can actually color these pieces. So what it's doing is it's cutting out this intersected piece, and it's also converting it to that color that I have selected in there. So I can go ahead and do that. I can grab another color here and go in and grab these pieces. And what this does, again, a couple of different things. Not only is it coloring these pieces of this object for me, it actually creates different pieces of the object for me as well. So I can pull out these intersected pieces. And even if I pull out pieces of this circle that was in the background, now basically what it is chop this whole thing up for me. So it's a great way to be able to create a complex shaped item or object just by laying another object on top of it or intersecting it, and then using this tool to pull those pieces apart. So again, all things that we could have done with the Pathfinder tool, but I think this is a great one for workflow because again, it's kind of more intuitive. As you drag and click on the items, you can manipulate it that way, and also it's right there at your fingertips. It's just a tool that you have to go and grab real fast, drag over your item, or click different areas to get rid of pieces or to kind of break them off from the bigger object. And I think it can work real good in your workflow. So hopefully that's something that will come in handy for you. If you're thinking about upgrading, maybe that's a reason to. Again, maybe it's a reason not to. Maybe this is something that you don't think is really going to work into what you need, which is also very valid information as well. So just thought I would show you that. And next time we'll move on to some features of one of the other new Creative Suite applications. But for now, that's App Clinic, and we'll see you next time.